So I'm about to cancel this one.
Yeah.
Are we talking on this one, right?
Yeah, just keep ours.
I got it.
All right, what up, y'all? My bad. We dropping jewels with Goku. There's the man Goku.
Yo.
I'm the co-host Richter, and we just here hanging out on a Sunday like usual, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I think today we're gonna get into a couple different things. First off, thanks for everybody that watches the show, watched last time. Loving the feedback. Just want to say thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I know a few people tune in, and that's always good. I mean, regardless, we're talking about things that I feel that need to be touched on. Regardless if anybody tunes in or not, we got it, on YouTube. If you want to check it out later, that's always cool.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what we talking about today, man?
So today we're gonna get into 5 things.
Right.
That'll be like 5 things like favorite power move b-boys, 5 unique style b-boys, and we'll get into some other ones later, but stay tuned for that. I think first thing we're going to jump off into is a topic I kind of brought up to the homie Goku, and that was basically like, since I kind of jumped out of the scene for a second and poked back in and looking at it, for me it looked like power moves, the form of it kind of dropped, like the emphasis on the form that seemed to drop for a gain in flow or like continuation. So I kind of was just talking to Goku about that, and then he was just like, oh snap. So I think we're gonna get into that. With that said, I mean, what you think, Goku?
Well, I mean, when you think about form, that's a personal choice, you know what I'm saying? I think that, if you start breaking and predominantly start with power moves, or like, let's just say windmills and head spins and flares, turtles, halos or whatnot. For me personally, I'm tall, so 6 foot tall. I think at the time in the 90s, I was probably one of the tallest b-boys, right?
Facto.
Yeah, so there wasn't very many of us. So everybody that we had to go off of, kind of example wise, they were like either 5'6", 5'7" at the most. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I mean, I think about me personally, I've always just wanted to look clean with whatever I've done, So when you talk about b-boys and like their attire, what they wear, like dress code type stuff, everybody's always like, you got to be fresh. You got to look fresh. In my opinion, I thought like, having my feet off the ground or, my legs kind of real locked up and looking straight, not too gymnast-like, because they have a different rhythm in power moves when you think about it. Their flares are different, the timing. The timing is just different. I mean, everything that I did, I just wanted to look, real clean. And I never wanted to put my feet on the ground when I did power. I never wanted to do swipes in between my flares. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't believe that. It was either like up and down or stay in the middle type stuff. And, but just staying real consistent and real clean, keeping a real nice rhythm within each move that I transitioned to. When I think about what I was aiming for and, who I wanted to battle at that time, you had to be clean. You had to look real fresh, Yeah. Like Razzie J and Wicked were 2 people that I kind of wanted to smoke on when I was younger. They were, motivation.
That was the gold standard.
Yeah, they were like, they were G's, man. They were the shit.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, nobody really knew about Central Cali. So I wanted to be one of the best. And so I knew that if I were to kind of step up my game and maybe do better things in Wick and Jay, then I knew that I was doing something right. So big ups to them, you know, for kind of helping me become who I am, you know. I didn't look up to them like that, but I knew they were some badass b-boys, you know?
Yeah, for sure. For me, it's got to be like, you know, Jordan, there's Ewing, there's Bird. They're all like around at the same time. So, you know, as much as you got to respect the dopeness, but you weren't like the homies. But, yo, it's like, man, like, yo, he kills it when he gets on that court. So when he gets in that circle, Cypher.
You know, I've always, you know, I like that when I reference myself or, you know, to somebody like, you know, I think Dr. Funk, you know, like that's me. If you think about breaking, you know, I would think that's me. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's, you know, Jay or Wick is Jordan or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, hey, I'm Vince Carter. So I'm about to jump over your head, you know?
Yeah, jump out the building type shit.
Yeah, so that's what I always looked at. I mean, when I think about like who I am in breaking, I think maybe I'm like the Rodney Mullen of breaking. You know, so I've always looked at it like that, and it gives me good perspective on like where I want to go with my dance. You know. Yeah,
exactly. It's good to have a relation because no path is the same really. So you got to find a line that kind of looks similar and run along it until you jump to another line or another timeline or something like that. But that's crazy, man. So to you already said that form isn't that important. It's a personal choice. But do you feel the scene kind of really took a back step, or not even, I want to say a back step, but just less emphasis on form for keeping it going, or no? Do you think?
Here's why I think form is good, because there's form in footwork, you know what I'm saying? There's form in you know, when you're top rocking. I mean, there's form in freezes. And I hear a lot of footwork based b-boys or top rock based b-boys, only top rock based b-boys and very little footwork, you know. I hear them talk about form a lot, you know. I hear a lot of people talk, you know, about, you know, hey, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. But they never really kind of dove into other things. They never dove in and trained on other things, you know. Like I said, man, I've been breaking since '93, so of course my dance, things are gonna change. I'm gonna approach the floor differently. There's pictures that I wanna create on this floor that maybe people have never seen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I hate referring back to me. I don't really like talking about that, but I mean, I could battle somebody in 10 rounds tops. I can battle somebody in 10 rounds of footwork. I can battle somebody in 10 rounds of power moves. Like, I can battle somebody with putting it together, like, you know. And when I think about it, we need to really keep training on everything before we start, you know, giving a big opinion to the youth. I think that, you know, we need to really, hey, if I'm a top rock based b-boys, I want to know what it's like to do 1090s. You know what I'm saying? Like, or if I just do 1090s, I want to know what it's like to go up there and just start, you know, doing more footwork and trying to make different patterns and, you know, change up the speed. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
you know, move around on the floor a little more, you know? So I think that the discipline behind form is lost. There's like not a lot of people who really care about what things look like today, and they're rushing through it. And then some of them build a big name off of that. You know, they build a big name off of that. And it's like, can you, you know, who's going to take the weight type shit? Can you take it? Like, because, you know, there's a lot of us out here that can go the distance. And if you ain't got that technique, that form, you know, you might be running out of breath real soon, you know?
Yeah, no, that's real. That's real. Man, like, I think form is like, it's just something, it's definitely like on y'all. It depends on your clique. Hanging out with, like, you know, Mega Man and shit, it's like, he was like, yo, keep that shit straight.
Yeah.
Even if you can't, you know, he's like, he's on you about it. But I liked that discipline of it. You know what I mean? Like for me, I got a lot out of that, but I could tell how, or I could see how some people wouldn't like that. But
I mean, yeah, learning from Mega Man, it has been, you know, he made me into a very, very resourceful person, not just, you know, a great b-boy. I mean, when I think about it, without Mega Man, I probably wouldn't be a Hank Lopez champion, you know, champion. Like, I don't know how many of us b-boys in California can say we actually won something at Hank Lopez. You know, I know I'm one of them, you know.
I don't think
yeah, right. Like, I mean, and you know, think about that. Like a lot of people forget about those days, and you know that means a lot to me. You know, is that discipline that Mega Man helped instill in me made me great. You know, I mean, if it wasn't for him, you know, getting on my ass and saying, "Hey, go practice your 90s," you know, like you're right there. Just go do it. Figure it out. What's going on? You know, your leg needs to do this, or, you know, your arm is out here. Why are you doing that? Keep your head in. You know, he was like really on me. And then wanting to be able to fly like him, you know?
Dude.
Like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's probably the fastest b-boy I know besides b-boy Pocket.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen Mega Man break super fast. Like, yeah. Whoa. And you know, I mean, his style of like windmill into flare 90 was just like
it's ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, it was just, the speed was ridiculous. And you know, I practiced several different ways to, you know, flare, windmill flare, you know, just several different ways. And one of his way is like probably the funnest way, you know. And I think that if people were to dig a little deeper in some of these, you know, with some of these b-boys, they'll find different techniques and like different ways to jump in or pop out of things. And that's where that form and that discipline comes into play to me, you know?
Yeah. No, that's why I mean, as much as he don't like the limelight and shit, but I like that we're talking about him because he was one of those dudes who was at practice, footworking both ways, trying to do power both ways. He just literally like studied everything and pick it apart. Like, oh, okay, you ever try going into that move from the back instead? And it's just like, oh, what? And the next week, he's like, yo, we're going to a gymnastics spot because he's going to do something crazy. But it's like, that's the kind of stuff, like, I was just around like, damn, man, like, this dude's on some, like, other shit. Like, you know what I mean?
When you see, like, me and Mega Man, like, in a picture or something, just think about, like, Yip Man and Bruce Lee, you know?
Yeah.
Because, you know, like, I totally have that, you know, Bruce Lee attitude when I was younger, you know, and Sean was very reserved and just very like, you know, he mastered, he practiced so many things. He took his time to think about, he's a thinker. So like, he's always thinking about something to propel himself to be, you know, on the next. And so that's why, like, he was one of the first people I've ever seen, you know, air flare into halos. Like I think he is the first person in the world.
I think he was definitely the first on that.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and it just, you know, it's been great being around people that do have disciplined themselves in this dance, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's kind of why I'm glad we're talking about him, because he's on the other side of the fence where he's very formed, very structured, very clean. Everything has like just perfect technique. The way he like flare windmill flares every time is exactly the same. It's not a hit or miss. It's like mechanic, you know what I mean? So there's definitely less of that these days, but there's definitely more flow, I think, than before. So you got to take your goods and your bads, right?
I mean, you know, and everybody's different, you know,
exactly.
Like everybody's, you know, not the same. We're not born with the same arm length and the same like height, and you got to take that into consideration and find what works for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you know, I know like the originators of this dance like things to be a certain way, you know, and always like practice, you know, the basics and the fundamentals that are going to help you become your own person. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you will develop yourself by, you know, this discipline, the disciplines that are before us. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I know that there was a time where I I just sat there and for years just worked on my footwork and just worked on tops, you know, and then putting it all together with my power. You know, I have like so many people to thank for that. You know, when I think about my mentors, you know, and other areas of the dance, like, you know, got to give love to Ace and Storm and Poe. I mean, you think about people like J-Rock from Style Elements. He's really dope. You know, I think about the people I looked up to. Think about Bay Area legends like Floor Rockers. You know, Floor Rockers are so sick. They were so dynamic. Everybody.
Yeah.
You know?
They were like some Voltron shit.
Bro, like, yo, Floor Rockers were the shit, you know?
Yeah.
Think about Battle Squad and, you know, Swift Rock and, you know, who I really wanted to aspire to be like, or maybe better, you know? And it's okay to look up to people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. It's okay to idolize and want to be like somebody. Hopefully they're good people.
Showing love, right? Showing love. So
yeah.
I remember when Poe sat me down and just helped me work on footwork. Like I really didn't know what I was doing, you know? I think I was 20 years old or 19 years old at the time.
Oh, word?
Yeah, we were, I forgot. Oh, we were somewhere, man. I don't know if we were in the country or out of the country, but he's like, you need to work on your footwork more, you know? And we had a crew called Casualties of Us, you know, Stuntman and G Wiz and Midas, Poe, myself, a few other people were down with us. You know me, aka Juice, right? Like all like were a part of this crew, and I was like the only powerhead type dude, you know. But they were really, you know, checking my style out. I was trying to develop myself.
Exactly.
I got more dudes to thank, man. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
All those guys. And it was just, I remember we had our own video and everything. It was really tight. So yeah, man. Yeah.
That's super sick, man. Super sick. Let's see. You want to get into the top fives?
Yeah, let's do that. Top fives. All right, who we starting with?
All right, so first things first, we're going to get into the power. Top 5 power heads all time.
Oh, well.
This is your opinion, and we'll, you know, you can back it up, but, you know, this ain't God rules. This ain't like everybody has to agree or die. This is the barbershop part of the program, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's that's a tough question. Let me say that respect to like Kid Freeze and Little Alex, you know, for like really blessing us, you know, Icy Ice really blessing us for one, you know, Sidewalk Breakers, you know, man, I really can't, it's really hard, you know, but I like to give love to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Orko. Right. You know, shouts out to Little Caesar. Shouts out to Robbie. Man, shouts out to the Japanese b-boys like Mario and all them dudes, Imperial JBs. Yeah. I just, you know, shouts out to all the old school renegades, you know. For real, I just got to drop that for everybody. Because, you know, like I know we all have these little beefs and shit. But to be honest with you, man, like, end of the day, you got to show that love. But for me personally, my top 5.
Yeah.
Power b-boys.
Yeah.
And here I said power b-boys. I didn't just say power movers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to be one like, power b-boys. Like, I'm going to have to say...
Power b-boys.
B-boy Gerald is probably one of my favorite power b-boys.
For sure.
B-boy Pablo's, of course. B-boy Mega Man. I'm gonna have to say B-boy Kareem.
Got one more.
Last one, huh?
On power b-boys. Power.
Hmm. I'm gonna say it's a tie.
Okay.
Between Iron Monkey and Cujo.
That's what I was thinking of too, man. I was like,
You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah. We're talking power, dude.
Yeah, they're like, we're talking about power, like, and I think that they bring so much uniqueness to power, and they were in like a race, you know, at one time.
Yeah.
Just you know, I'm just really thankful for both of those guys. You know, they could even be my number one sometime. You know.
Yeah, for sure. But
yeah,
that's all. They're very powerful in their own way. Like,
right.
Yeah. Super crazy.
And you know, I just, you know, like I really got love from my boy Poison.
That's what I was thinking of too. I was like, yo, that boy.
That boy is nasty. He was always nasty.
That boy was nice, man.
Shouts out to Wicked too for being so swift and clean. You know.
Swift.
And big ups to Jazzy J for inspiring thousands of people.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Little Caesar and Ivan, you know, just, you know what I'm saying? I gotta just put it out there, man. But my top 5 is like, you know, Gerald, Mega Man, Pablo, Kareem, and then Cujo and Monkey are on the tie, because you think about that, man. There's just so many greatness when I think about that. And big ups to Ronnie Ruin as well.
Yeah.
You know, much love to Ruin.
But there's only a few seats in the bus right now. That's all.
Right. Yeah. So like only a few seats. But anyway, I got my top 5. You heard that.
All right, I'm with that.
Shout out to people, you know.
Yeah, no, I'm with that.
Oh, and you know what? My boy Flex.
Yeah, dude.
That guy is fucking nasty.
Dude, yeah. Talk about form.
Talk about form. That's my guy right there. Huh?
That dude.
Right?
That dude was locked.
Big up to Inferno. What's up, Inferno?
Yeah, what up, Carlito?
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, the other one I had for you. Most unique style. Like B-boys with the most unique style.
Robzilla.
Top 5. Pick your top 5.
Robzilla's number 1.
Same here, dude. Dude, he's my favorite, dude.
Robzilla. Ken Swift. Ken Swift, man.
Robzilla, Ken Swift. Woo.
So Robzilla, Ken Swift.
Unique style.
That's so crazy too, man.
Yup.
B-boy Ace. I love Ace.
Ace got that unique style.
He does. Like I think in
Ace man. Yo, check this out. Ace is fucking exhibit of the b-boying scene.
Right?
That motherfucker is like he's touched everybody.
Yeah.
And it's like the right people. It's like that dude is crazy.
J-Rock.
Oh, okay.
And then I think my favorite of all time is probably Barmac from my crew.
Barmac, man.
Probably Barmac. He's the president of Soul Control. Much love to Barmac. I think unique style, like he just doesn't get a lot of recognition, not a lot of love. And you know, his style was so fresh at the time. He was such ahead of the game.
Way ahead.
You know what I mean?
Way ahead, dude.
Gotta show love to Barmac, man. I think style B-boys, like those dudes, everybody that I name they can still run with anybody today if they really, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yep.
Like that's just me. I think that's a pretty dope team. And you know, shouts out to everybody like that were taking style and flipping it. Like Big Show, Circus Runaways. You know what I mean?
Midas.
Yeah, Midas. G Wiz and Stunts, like all those guys, man. Cusser,
yeah. Because it was
Man, the list can go on and on, right?
For sure, for sure. Only a few seats on the bus, man.
Only a few seats, man. But those are my top 5. I think when they really kind of come to my heart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's about. Quick little Barmack story. I think it was Summit 99. He's wearing that yellow Fat Pound shirt. And I was like, yo, this dude's tall. He's getting down. And then I was like, he started breaking, and I realized that there was like no noise.
No noise. Quiet.
Like a ninja. Just like, you didn't even hear him doing anything. You just hear his windbreaker shirt underneath the Fat Pound shirt, which was like crazy because I knew that dude was sweating. But you hear, yo,
right.
That dude. That's when I was like, oh, because I seen him in videos, right? But when you see him in person, and you realize he's light as hell and he's hella big.
Yeah.
Son had your boy motivated after that 99 Summit.
6 foot tall, you know what I'm saying? Like
exactly.
6 foot or something like that, you know?
He's a big boy.
Yeah, so like that's my top 5, you know, for like just unique style. You know, I mean, we can go, you know, crazy style, like when you think about like Freakazoid throwing his head or put around his head and like doing a track off of it. Like that's some crazy stuff, man.
That's some crazy
stuff.
That
guy too.
Yeah, what up, Gio? All right, top 5 influential b-boys.
Oh, so like we're gonna say like we're talking about b-boy, we're talking about breaking, right? Like, you know, as a whole now. So
influence.
Storm.
Easily.
Yeah, Storm. Mauricio. You know what I'm saying? Influential. I mean, you gotta, you know, regardless of, you gotta just keep it 100. I think K-Mel he's one of the most influential b-boys of all time.
Yeah.
And one of the most well-rounded b-boys of all time.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah. So we have, of course, Crazy Legs is probably one of the most influential b-boys of all time.
Yeah. That's like a gimme, though.
Right. And then you got to think about, too, like people who sparked movements, like Alien S. He's one of the most influential b-boys of all time. Why? Because he sparked up a bunch of like Zulu King stuff going on in different countries. And, you know, you got to call it, you know, I got to call it like how I see it. You know what I'm saying? And so I think about that, and it's just, yeah. So respect. That's my 5 most influential. Huh? Right?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. It's good though. Like you gotta keep reminding people what's going on out here, man. Like, you know, and I just keep it 100 like that. You know, I love breaking. I love hip hop. I mean, look at where I'm at. There's some turntables here, some speaker there, some drums there, some graph there. You know what I'm saying? I got my name in the back, homie. I'm rocking this UBC shirt. What's going on? Hip hop. It's all hip hop. You know.
Defs. No, I'm with that. Oh, footwork. Dun, dun, dun. Top 5 footworks. Footwork b-boys. Let's hear it.
Footwork. Footwork. Let's go.
That's tough.
Not tough, though. Not tough. Let me think. Footwork.
There's a lot of variety out there, though. There's a lot of the same, too.
Man, Mr. Wiggles had some sick footwork when I think about that.
Fam, he
Mr.
do.
Wiggles had dope footwork.
You do.
Let me see. Storm had dope footwork. Mauricio had dope footwork. Still does.
He was known for that footwork.
Yeah, Mauricio was like, man. Emilio.
Forgot about Emilio.
Swift Rock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Flip flop.
I was actually thinking he might be in that other influential category.
I mean, Swift, yeah, he's like you know, gold star, baby, gold star. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Crazy, yo. That's nutties. I don't know. All right, I got a random question that I just thought about it. Like flips and junk, like flips in like a set or a run, like.
Right.
What's your take on that? You think it's cool to have? I mean, of course, skill set wise, trying to be a better person, it's better to always add, right, and have it. But like for battles, does it actually give you much value busting them out, some flips and stuff?
Yeah. I mean, it depends on who you are, though. Like, you know, usually like hitters are the best people to kind of like set that example for integrating it with footwork or tops, you know. Look at
Machine, dude, is nasty.
Machine is nasty. Look at Ivan, right? Look at Incredible Josh. Look at Flips from Skill Methods. You know, look
Gravity.
at Gravity, right? Perfect example. K-Mel.
Of course.
Twitch. All these guys, like,
or Twix.
You know,
Twix,
yeah.
Man, forgot about my homie. JD. What up, JD?
What up? You know, so when I think about it, it depends on who you are. You know what I'm saying? Your background, you know, like street hitters are, of course, they're gonna apply that. You know, you got young cats like Pop, B-Boy Pop, who can still, you know?
Yeah.
You got Tata, look at Tata, right?
Dude's
but
nice.
I mean, when you think about like black culture and you think about culture, especially, you know, on the East Coast, yo, that's what they do, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? They out there hustling, making money. And when I think about cats on Venice Beach, you know, street hit all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up, man. So yeah, it looks like you're about to teach the youth something. So we're about to close it up. It's a shorter edition, but we'll be back next week. Any last words for the people?
You know what? Do your research. Keep doing your research on the culture itself, please. You know what I'm saying? We got to really educate the people out there, whether it's in different studios, you know, where they just not stereotyping us, you know, and making us, you know, like some circus act, you know, or, you know, some Back to the Future type stuff, or we in the past. You know, I think that, you know, some of these people need to catch up with us, and that's, you know, that's what I think. And we've been so ahead of the game that, you know, we're a little too fast, you know, sometimes, and it might not, you know, be visible to these people, but we just got to start making ourselves more available, you know, being available. And it's not anybody's fault that people are uneducated to the dance and actually to the culture. I mean, there's people here that talk about culture in Fresno, you know, and they're still calling our dance breakdancing. You can't talk about culture. You can't talk about brown people, black people, and then still call this dance breakdancing. Yeah,
right.
And so educating my people, I'm like, hey, don't call it that. Let's let me tell you who I am. Let me tell you what I do. And, you know, I just want to wake up my people a little more than what we already are. You know, you think about everything happening like on social media, or, you know, rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
His community, and kind of wake people up. And it's just not taking things personal when people are trying to educate you as well. You know what I'm saying? You know, be there, be present. Be present, and don't just go off of like hearsay stuff, you know?
Exactly. No, for sure. That's great advice. On that note, we about to end it. See y'all next week. Dropping jewels with Goku. Shout out to Andrew Aragon, who is chilling in the chat. What up? So we out. Dropping jewels with Goku. That's Goku. I'm Richter. Peace.
Peace.